What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Live, Regret, Repeat podcast. I am Dan. Today I'm joined by Yayan and Dugan, and for the first time we have a guest here, Sub, if you want to introduce yourself.
Hey, what's up, guys? My name's Subtle. I go by Sub, though.
Awesome. So
What
today,
up, Sub?
what's up,
What's
man?
up, my guy?
So Dugan knows Sub from his camp adventures. They work together.
Welcome to hell, buddy.
Yeah. Welcome to the shit show. So that's kind of how they know each other there. Today we're going to be talking mostly about like video games and kind of just pop culture stuff in general. So we're going to start off with kind of the evolution of gaming and just that in general.
It's a nerd cast today.
Kind of, yeah. It's going to be all that kind of stuff. So, Sub, you're kind of big into this stuff, aren't you? Like the history of video games, or
A little bit.
a little bit? Yes.
I'm more into like the more current stuff
Okay,
nowadays.
the
but
common stuff. Okay, so I mean, going back with video games, I mean, obviously you start all the way back with like the Pong and all the basic stuff and everything like that. I guess we'll probably be talking more about like the recent history of video games. So when did you guys? This is a good place to start. When did you guys start playing video games? Like what? How old were you? What console generation? What kind of games did you guys play?
Funny story.
all right.
The last time I started playing video games, maybe when I was, fuck if I know, like 7 on the original Xbox,
Okay.
like OG shit.
Mm-hmm.
I used to jam on that, man.
Yeah.
And then I stopped when I was about 13, and I ended on the Xbox 360.
Okay.
And now that I'm 20, I picked it up again, and now I'm, PC gamer for life, bro.
Perfect. The correct option. What about you, Yain?
According to my dad, I was basically playing games with him. Like when I was so young, the controller couldn't even fit in my hands.
Really? Okay.
So
That
he would be
sounds
playing, and
accurate.
That is pretty young.
Yeah, I know, Yain, you're the biggest gamer I know, and like you're
Unless
just
you have, like,
always been
small
into it
hands.
forever. Yeah.
I got small chop hands.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Okay. What about you, Sub? When did you get into that?
I can't really remember, but I started playing around the time of like PlayStation 1. I played a lot of like Crash
Okay.
Crash Bandicoot, stuff like that.
Gotcha.
Whoa!
Moved into PS2 pretty soon after that, because like the PlayStation 2 had already come out, but like I
Kinda.
wasn't really like that big into it, so my dad was just like, yeah, we'll just get him a PlayStation hand-me-down.
Okay. Nice.
And then I started playing a lot of Guitar Hero, and
Nice,
after
nice.
that I was all about the games.
Yeah. I know. I
Never ended
started.
up going to PS3, but started moving into PC after that,
There
and
you go.
it's been pretty good since.
That's the best option. I started when I was 6 years old. I think 6 or 7. It was like first grade probably. I got a GameCube, the Nintendo GameCube. That was my first console there. I always played Simpsons Hit and Run. There was this like off-road driving game that I never played the missions on. I would just drive on the streets and just kind of pretend I was actually driving. And then SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom was the greatest game in the world. I absolutely love that thing.
Oh.
Um,
Dude, I
Nah,
used to-
nah, it's
I
all
used to
about
love
Teenage
that
Mutant Ninja Turtles.
dude, the
Dude,
SpongeBob
I used to
game.
love that Shrek game.
There was a Shrek game?
Fuck yeah.
Super
Oh my
Slam?
god! And this was before he
No,
was
I
a
don't
meme.
know what it was. Fuck.
No?
I don't remember what it was because it was so long ago. This was the OG Xbox talking.
Okay.
So like, but it was like it was like you played out one of the Shrek movies.
Oh, okay. That's
So
interesting.
even back then, Shrek was love. Shrek was life.
I think Shrek
Dead
just always
memes,
said
boys,
that.
A
dead
Right?
little more
memes.
PG, though. A little
Oh,
bit more
of course.
PG.
Yeah, nothing like Red Riding Hood throwing apples at some rats.
Yeah, that's nonsense. You mean Logan Paul?
Gotta love city life.
Yeah. Yeah. So after I got the GameCube, I think about a year after the Xbox 360 came out, or like whatever the Christmas was after the Xbox 360, that's when I got that. And that's when me and Yayan started playing a lot. Maybe not online, but like going over each other's houses and everything.
Oh, so
I
you
know.
used to go to his house and play with each other?
Yeah.
I mean, if you put it that fucking
Old school LAN party, dude.
way. Yeah. So me
Bring your console.
yeah. Yayan really introduced me to gaming more than anyone. I also had like a Wii and everything like that. I never got the Xbox 360 is the last console I had. I got a PC for gaming in 2013, and ever since then, I've just done strictly PC gaming. I'll touch my Xbox 360 from time to time just to like throw an old game in. I'm probably gonna get the Xbox One X, the Scorpio, later on once the new Red Dead comes out, just because I really want to play that, and that's going to be an Xbox
God.
exclusive for a while. But that's a really powerful console too. It's not up to the level of a PC, but it's really impressive for what you can get out of it. So I mean, I guess the evolution of gaming, it's obviously gotten close to photorealistic. I mean, obviously, people,
Oh,
if you
yeah.
asked them 10
Oh,
years
yeah.
ago, it's, oh, this is as best as it'll ever get. But we're really close now, where it's kind of getting, you have to make it look fancier to make it look better. So I'm really excited for the day where it's literally impossible to differentiate between the two. Will that come? Who knows? Because by that point, we'll probably be into VR and all that kind of stuff.
We
Um,
already
Pretty soon
are,
they're gonna
dude.
Be,
yeah,
Pretty soon they're gonna be just like recording people.
yeah,
And they're just using like some practical effects to make games.
to just kind of, yeah, it'll be
Yeah.
almost like a movie or
It's
something.
gonna be like Quick Draw McGraw.
Yeah, I remember one time I was playing Madden '08, so like the football game, and it was me and
God.
one of my friends. I don't know who it was, playing on our like family room TV, and we were having a party. And my aunt walks in the room and says, "Oh, who's on? What game's on?" And it's like, "Oh no, we're just playing a video game." And she was amazed at how good the quality was. Like, "Oh my god, I couldn't differentiate this from real life." I just opened that game
She
up
just
probably
might
like
not
2
know
years
sports.
ago. Yeah, that too. I opened that game up 2 years ago. It looks god awful. Like it looks
Oh,
nothing like
yeah.
real life. So that's kind of where I'm going to from the, oh well, what if it's real or not? Like when will we kind of know that? But it's definitely an interesting thing to see. Where do you guys think gaming is going to go? What's the next big thing? What's the next like standard?
The more money you spend, the better chances you have of being better at a game.
Okay, yeah,
So
That's
I'm talking to
If
you,
EA has
EA.
anything to do with
I'm
it.
fucking talking to you,
EA, dude.
yeah,
you motherfuckers.
yeah,
Loot boxes, dude.
yes,
Playing World War II, you know, giving myself flashbacks and shit, and it's like, oh, okay, I can, you know, spend real money to get skins and shit for guns I don't use.
Now, what's
Why?
worse,
Get the gun.
spending money for skins and nonsense, or spending money to play better for the game? What do you have a
Yeah.
problem with? Because I have a problem with spending money to get like a better weapon or something. I think for skins, it's perfect for that because you let the developer make more money and it's just cool stuff. But when you're
Yeah, it's
paying
optional.
to win, literally, I
Yeah.
think that becomes a problem. I don't like that.
Yeah, but
EA
here's,
thinks otherwise.
Yeah, I agree.
here's
Yeah.
my thing. The whole pay-to-win thing, that should stick with app games.
Okay.
Not-
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Not like, because you're paying like, what, $59 for a goddamn game just to spend more money?
Yeah. One thing that's interesting to think about too, games have been $60 forever. For probably a good like close to 20 years or so. So the inflation or whatever you want to call it really hasn't hit the video game market. So games are really cheaper than what they've ever really been right now. So maybe you can justify all the loot boxes and stuff, but they're definitely not going about it the right way. What's the new Star Wars game? Like you have to pay just to play like the main like Darth Vader's, or you either have to put like hundreds of hours in, unless you want to get like one of the heroes, you have to pay
Yeah,
to get it.
Jesus.
the XP system in Star Wars Battlefront is laughable too. Like, there's people who are actually taking like rubber bands or making like elaborate contraptions that just move the sticks so that way they don't get AFK checked. Because like the amount of like work that you have to do to get a larger amount of XP than someone who's just running around like
Mhm.
0 and 10
Okay.
is ridiculous. So people are
That's-
just finding ways to not get AFK checked and kicked from
Yeah,
the game.
that's not okay. I mean, I've never been a huge fan of difficult video games. I've always used gaming as like just a nice relaxed kind of chill out and kind of have some fun with it. But
Yeah,
if there has to be rewards for playing a game like that, like something like the Battlefronts or like a PC game like Arma 3 or like a PUBG, something like that. The skills should be rewarded with that. There's other games like Minecraft or whatever that are just like relax and do whatever with it. But the whole loot boxes and everything, I understand from a business standpoint why they work, and they clearly work as they keep doing it. They're making money at it, but they've got to really just think about kind of the consumer and do it better than what they're doing now.
Yeah, and a big thing is that like EA especially is just preying on like little Calvin or little Jimmy who's just like, "Oh mom, I want the new Madden," or "I want the new shooter that's coming out from EA," and they start playing the game. They see somebody who has a gun, and they're just like, "Oh, I really want that gun," and they run over to mommy and they're like, "Mommy, can you buy this for me?" And their mother's just like, "All right, I'll buy it for you. Shut up."
Yeah,
And
exactly.
it's really predatory and sickening to like
Yeah,
think of.
and they know that because the kid, like, they're given the credit card, or if it'll shut up the kid for another 20 minutes, the parents will buy it for him. I have a problem with that, too, for, like, video games or parents parents in general just be like, oh, here's a tablet, I don't have to parent you anymore. Like, that's a problem. But on the video game side of things, that's exactly what they go for. They do the market studies. They say, oh, the kids are the ones spending a ton of money on it because they don't realize that it's a terrible choice. So here you go. They're the ones that are going to keep doing it. Yeah, that's a mess. So what do you think? Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, like, it's even gotten to the point where, like, in Hawaii, they're proposing to ban people from buying loot boxes if they're under 21, because it is gambling at its core.
Yeah, it is gambling.
The way that EA is treating it.
Looking at that kind of stuff, it definitely is a gambling thing. Like, even Call of Duty World War II, like the loot boxes you get there, you're not buying them. You technically can, but it pops up. The cards flip over. Like, that's a slot machine.
And it pops up in front of everybody too.
Yeah, exactly. Because
Like,
it's
it just
trying to
drops in
get,
the middle
oh,
of the
look, he
battlefield.
got cool stuff. Now I'm going to go buy one, or I'm going to play this game another 10 hours so that I can get it. It's insane. So speaking of, like, evolution in games, I don't understand why these PUBGs and Fortnites, these Battle Royale games, have exploded over the past maybe, 3 to 6 months. I haven't played any of them. I don't know, have you guys? Like, I don't know if I'm a great person to talk to about this.
I wouldn't say that, like, the hype is worth it. I don't know.
Okay.
That's just me. Like, the couple times that I did play PUBG, because a friend picked it up for me. I didn't want him to, but he did it anyway because he likes the game so much that he bought it for me. Just like, all right, dude, I'll play this with you.
Okay.
And, like, I'll hit you back for it later sometime.
Mhm.
But anyway, I played it a couple times, and for the most part, we were just sitting in a house waiting for the ring to get smaller. And I was like, this is pretty boring. Let's go after one of these loot drops. And they're like, oh, no, we shouldn't do that. And I'm like,
Yeah.
let's do it.
Uh-huh.
And it was fun. Like, it was fun to, like, fight for that kind of stuff.
Mhm.
But it's like there's not enough incentive, I feel, at least in PUBG, for players to go out of their way to, like, make, like, aggressive plays.
Okay, so it's kind of no.
Yeah.
Yain or Dugan, have you guys played any of these type games?
Well, I was playing just like 2 hours ago.
Oh yeah, you were.
And then you sneaked up on the mic.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily like them. I think it's a good, like, adrenaline hit if you want it, sort of thing. It's kind of almost like a drug, I would say, where I forget what drug, but it's like
A little bit of crack, dude. A little bit of cocaine.
Just a
dude.
little bit.
Shot
Just
of
a
happy.
little bit. Just a little bit. Never
Take
hurt
the edge
anybody.
off, yeah. I think that's
Well,
what.
Do not agree with my comments, please.
Yeah, we do not condone drug use.
But like, it's like you jump in for, like, a 10-minute game, and it's quick, fast, and
Oh, it is.
Thing
I
to
always assumed it
adrenaline.
was a longer thing, so it is a quick thing.
Hey, it can be.
it
Oh,
can
yeah,
take
dude.
maybe 20
Depends on
minutes.
how good or bad you are.
Okay.
Yeah.
If everyone's just laying down in a bush in the middle of the circle, then yeah, it can take 20 minutes. But if everyone's running around, it can go pretty quick.
So what differentiates this from, say, a Call of Duty or Battlefield or Rainbow Six? Like, what makes a Battle Royale game a Battle Royale, and why has it exploded these past couple
I
months?
think it has to do with the fact that if you win, I mean, when these games start, there's about 100 people who join in, and
Okay.
if you win, that means you're like the best out of that 100 people.
How do you
are
win?
The
Just be the last one alive?
Yep, last man standing.
Okay.
Well, there's many ways to be the last one standing.
Yeah. So could you just, like, hide in a bush and hopefully not die, and that you'll win?
Hey, that's what I do when I play Fortnite.
Okay, so you don't have to, like, get a certain amount of kills or anything
No.
like that?
But, like, you have to hope the bush is inside the ring, or
Okay, so, and I guess what? It just gets
you
smaller?
die once you're outside. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
it
the
just
rings will
keeps-
get smaller, and then more people will be, like, concentrated together.
Okay.
But
It just keeps
I don't know, but, like, Battle Royale games are... I would say, like, the biggest difference between a Battle Royale game and something like Call of Duty, outside of, like, no respawns, is, like, the team play that you end up getting if you do go in with a group.
Okay.
Because, like, when you're in Call of Duty, if you're playing, like, even if you're playing... I'm trying to think of the game mode. Search and Destroy. Even if you're playing, like, Search and Destroy, like, it's not... Like, there really isn't a lot aside from time. In PUBG, there's, like... The time is visual. Like, it's a visual experience because... And it's a gameplay mechanic because, like, if you're not in a certain area,
Mhm.
over time, you will die.
Okay.
And,
So I
like,
guess
the
that keeps
fog
it
in PUBG is very, very strong. I got trapped in it one time, and it almost killed me. And I was basically in it for less than, like, maybe 20 seconds.
Okay.
And I was
Good.
almost dead. And it was pretty harsh.
Yeah. So that
Um,
that hurts you, or just, like, limits your vision, or both, or?
No, it takes
It
you
just
out.
hurts you,
Okay.
and it'll kill you eventually.
Gotcha.
It's
Wonderful.
like silent fart if you think about it.
God. So PUBG
Yeah.
is kind of like the top really battle royale
No.
game, I'd assume, or
No.
no? Which
I don't know.
Everybody- it's
I don't know
all
the numbers, but Fortnite has been really pumping out lately.
okay, and Fortnite's free,
Everybody's
right?
playing Fortnite. Yep. They have a free version,
And
which
battle
is
royale, or
why
sorry,
everyone loves it.
PUBG is pay. You have to buy that.
Yep, it's about $20, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, but you pay for it once and then you have the game. So.
Yeah, that's definitely one of the things. So
Well,
speaking
I'm sorry,
of
the open beta.
okay, speaking
It's out
of
now though.
the best game for that, let's go around here and think. What are your top 5 or maybe top 3? We're thinking Steam games. If they're not all Steam games, just like video games in general. What are your top games for you guys? I don't know, whoever wants to take this first, but
Let's let the young buck go. It's all you, Sub.
All right, so my absolute favorite game, and this is it's not like too big of a throwback, but my favorite game, it's a tie between Guitar Hero 2 for the Xbox version
Ooh.
and the original like Star Wars Battlefront 2 because like they were so I
that's
don't
a
know,
good
they were like really more for like sentimental values, but like Battlefront, like the original Battlefront 2 was just so good. It's like
Mhm.
you jump in, you hop in as like a droid, and like no matter what droid you're playing, it feels like a unique experience. And even if you're not playing like online, because like the online was I don't even know how to get to the online, so I mainly played with my brother.
Yeah.
But like even if you're playing against like a whole bunch of bots, it feels like this huge like battle that you're in, and you get to play as whatever you want for free. You don't have to pay for any loot boxes.
Okay. Now,
Um,
when you think best games, like I think I'm going to go with 2 different ones because I have like objectively this is the best game because it's structured like this and this is why. But I also have my favorite games as in like history and like sentimental value of it. Like, do you
Okay.
kind of combine the 2 of them, or do you think kind of
a little bit.
Okay.
But I, from an objective standpoint, I would probably say, and I might get a lot of flack for this, but I would definitely say that Warframe is probably like one of my favorite.
Yeah, and you played that a lot, don't you?
I can't say like for sure, but I've put over. At this point, I'm checking my hours now, but I've put well over 3,200 hours into the game.
Holy
Every
shit!
time I log in, it feels like there's something new for me to do.
That is
Like
Hang on,
whether
insane.
I'm,
I'm
bored
about-
or, like I have an objective, like there's something that I can do for the game. It's like
I'm about to do the quick maths on this. You said what,
Quick maths.
3,200 hours?
3,200 hours, and I've been playing off and on since the original like open beta, and I've
That
seen
is
like alpha play
unbelievable.
from some of my friends.
Yeah, that's about 133 days.
So a third of a year, 4 months.
Mhm.
Wow, that's incredible.
That would be playing the game 4 months straight.
Yeah, that's insane. So, Dugan, what
Fuck.
about you?
Dude, okay, so you know I'm not really that big of a gamer. I'm just getting back into this, John.
Mhm.
So I would have I would honestly have to say, dude, I used to love the old NHL 07, NHL 2K7. I don't
Okay.
know what it was, but that was my John, dude. Now, I mean, again, I'm not very vast into games, but I've been spending most of my time playing Call of Duty World War II.
Yes. Now, have you
Getting
been playing
back
the
into
campaign much, or just
I've
mostly
seen.
multiplayer?
Yes, I've been playing the campaign, and
Who
I
plays Call of Duty
absolutely love
campaign?
it.
Dude, I love the Call of Duty campaigns.
Okay.
I'm odd. I play video games differently. Like, I normally play a game for the campaign with everything. Like, I will play multiplayer, like, with these guys. But I always really enjoy stories in video games more than anything.
Okay.
What other... Is it mostly, like, Call of Duty that's your number one
I
since
mean-
you've been out of it for so long, or...
Here's a real throwback that I know hopefully you guys get. You guys remember those old little controllers that you plug into the TV and play?
Yes.
Oh,
Remember
yeah.
the SpongeBob one?
I
The
don't think so.
controller was literally SpongeBob's face and his nose was the joystick.
Yes,
That's
yes,
haunting.
yes, yes,
It
yes,
was.
yes.
That-
now
that is
that I look
haunting.
now that I look back at it, it is very goddamn creepy.
Yeah, there's some odd stuff
But
there.
still, oh my god, dude, that was my shit.
Good
All I
lord.
can hear is SpongeBob's like cackling laugh right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
Um,
God. Yeah, and what about you? What are your favorite games?
Probably like Roller Coaster Tycoon, Armor.
Okay.
I don't know, weird
Arma's
things.
pretty- Sub, have you ever played Arma?
no.
Do you
I'm
know
not
what it
really big
is,
into
or-
games that are similar to that.
Okay. Because I
Is
know a
it
lot
more
of
towards
people.
like it's more towards like DayZ and that kind of like game.
Yeah, it is. It basically DayZ came from Armor. It's a military simulator is the best way I'd put it. Like there'd be times like me and Yayan. I think I have like close to 200 hours in it, something like that. So it's not a ton, but for me that's a lot.
Doesn't beat his 3,200 hours, dude.
It doesn't. I don't think anything can. I have 188 hours in Arma 3.
Okay.
So, which for
That's a
450
decent
on it.
amount.
how much do you have?
450 in Arma 3.
Jesus, you have a lot more than me. But it's basically a military simulator, so it's very accurate. There's the windage, there's everything. Like there'll be times, depending what server you're in, you may go 2 or 3 hours without any combat. You're just getting in place, like doing logistics and stuff. So it's definitely a very specific type of game. You can get into get thrown in a building and it's all whatever you want, but it's kind of a sandbox type thing.
It's
So
more of a
that's
slow
definitely
burn.
Interesting. What about like some older games, Yayan? Or I guess Roller Coaster is kind of one of the older ones for you, the Tycoon
Yeah.
games.
Roller Coaster Tycoon. I'm trying to find it on my list right now. I completely forget the name.
Did anybody ever like? On a side note, did anybody ever play like the Carmen San Diego games?
No.
No,
Yeah.
Oh my god.
we're
I feel so
deprived. We're deplorable. Dude, we're just deplorable
It was like
podcasters,
the
man.
OG point and click, like next to like Pajama Sam and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, so while you're looking for that, my best
I've-
games, I think. What was that?
I found it. Yeah. Rise of Nations.
Okay, what is that like one of the
Oh, yes,
strategies? Okay,
Yeah.
strategy games. I never have been into the strategy games. Like normally for most games, I like the more realistic type ones. But yeah, I've never been a huge thing in like the strategies or like the whatever that is. So like I think my favorite game, objectively and kind of sentimentally, would be Modern Warfare 2, Call of Duty, because
Yeah,
me and
Yeah,
Yayan,
I'll give you that one.
like all the time, me and him played it. I must have played that campaign, I don't know, maybe 15 times or so between Xbox and PC and everything. I just absolutely love that game. We were talking about this in the last podcast actually. When I broke my leg back in 6th grade, it was like probably Call of Duty came out. What Modern Warfare 2 was September, 3 months after I broke my leg, so I had time to play it. So that's another reason I think I like it so much.
Could you stand it?
I could. Call of Duty 3, though, definitely holds a special place because that's the game I played when I first got my Xbox 360. I played that game more than anything else. I probably beat that campaign 20 times. Like, I don't think I touched multiplayer ever in that. I just consistently played the campaign over and over and over again. And it was also, I think overall, like, my favorite series, though, is GTA. GTA 4, GTA 5. I just absolutely love those games. And kind of just for the
I'll give you
screwing
that.
around and everything. And GTA 5 is a masterpiece. Are you not a fan of them? There's people that don't like them. What don't you like about it?
Oh my god, I don't know. It just, I can't really like put my finger on it, but I've just never really
You just
like.
don't like it?
I've just never really liked the GTA series.
Okay, yeah, I
If I
don't know.
wanted to play a realistic game, I'd play Saints Row 4.
Really? Okay.
Oh boy.
Interesting
oh,
choice.
Boy. Oh man.
Yeah.
Now, memes aside, I like GTA 4 a little bit better because it's like, or not GTA 4, Saints Row.
Saints
I
Row.
thought you were an
more comical.
Overwatch guy.
Overwatch is actually the worst game in existence right now.
Why is that?
Should not be taken seriously. on a
Please
competitive
go
level.
on.
Yeah,
Please
there's a
go
story
on.
behind this, I can tell.
All right, so like I got into Overwatch. I was like, man, this game's amazing, dude. It's so competitive. There's so much teamwork, and then I slowly realized that everybody was saving up their allowance that played League of Legends and slowly bought the game, and the community just got so toxic to the point where Jeff Kaplan, like the lead game dev, was just like, all right, guys, stop being mean to each other. We put in a report system after like 6 to 8 months of the game actually being out.
Really? Oh, wow.
And
Okay.
they're trying to make it an esport, but
Yeah.
there's no scoreboard. There's no scoreboard. And they were attempting to make it so that way it was like less toxic.
Okay.
They're like, oh, if there's no scoreboard, people can't like hit tab and then be like, oh, this person's doing nothing.
Oh, that's not
And
true.
they like make the medal system, and the medal system is just so flawed.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't even differentiate between an elimination, like an actual like final blow, and an assist. So like
Okay.
any halfwit can just hop on like Diva or something,
And just jump in and
shoot
be
their
good.
guns literally the entire match, and complain about how they have gold damage in elimination.
Oh, my God.
If you deal 2 damage to someone with 500 health and somebody else kills them, you still get that assist. You still got that elimination.
Okay.
So bad.
Damn.
Yeah,
So
that
bad.
sounds
The,
fun.
the commentators don't even understand really what's going on because they can't like check a scoreboard for the
Yeah.
total amount of damage and like meaningful like kills, like supports or other like damage heroes that are very important to them.
That always
Like,
seemed like to me a game that was designed for esports. I don't know if it was or not, but it just seemed.
Oh,
like
yeah,
so
it
perfect.
is.
Okay.
It is.
I
Blizzard tries to
think-
make everything they have into an esports.
Yeah.
I think CS:GO is the perfect esports
that's
game.
the definition of esports. Yeah. That absolutely.
Cam, do you?
Yeah,
Do you
I play a lot of
do you
CS:GO.
tinker in CS:GO? You tinker in it?
I play quite a bit of CS:GO. I'm
Yeah,
not that good, but
you
I do
played
play
it,
it a
right?
lot.
Yeah, I played it for a bit.
Yeah. Did you ever get really into it, or just kind of for fun from time to time?
A bit of both.
Okay. Are you
I mean-
serious into it, Cam? Like, do you do competitive or anything, or?
Oh yeah. Whenever
Really?
I play any game, I try to play competitive.
Okay.
I don't really play quick play because like usually you get a lot of trolls and stuff.
True.
And, like yeah, you get trolls in a competitive play for any game, but it's a little bit more coordinated, and most of the people in the game want to win.
Okay.
So they're not just like dicking around with like their cell phones texting the entire game, or
Okay,
they're not
so
like
they're
at a
actually
party
doing stuff.
somewhere. They're paying attention to the game
Well, that's
unless
good.
they're some sort of troll.
Yeah,
So-
I've never been like very good at most games, and I never really get into them super competitively. I kind of just like
Retweet.
screw around to have fun. Any of you guys played BioShock Infinite? Yeah, and you played it, right?
Yeah.
That's one of the best games ever.
Are you joking, or do you actually like it?
I'm not joking, dude.
Okay.
The story in it is so good. Dude. I put it up
BioShock
there next to the
Infinite, this
last
is what I've always said. BioShock Infinite is my absolute favorite story in a video game, but what bothers me about it is the actual gameplay. Like, the atmosphere is absolutely phenomenal. The story is absolutely amazing. The art design, the graphics they're perfect. What I can't stand is the gameplay of the actual, like, missions of things, because it's the same thing. You go, you shoot the same people over and over again. Yeah, you do have different, like, the different, what do they call them? The salts and
Handyman.
everything. Different guns, that type of thing that you can play with. It's cool to go into the story, and it bugs me, and Yine will tell you this too, but when I was playing that, I started it, got into it, and it probably took me like close to a year to finish the campaign. And when I got to the end of that campaign there, and it was just because I wasn't playing it much, it's not like I tried a year straight, I was so like starstruck by it. I just like fell in love with it instantly. I just wish it was more of like a free roam adventure game versus the shooter where it got so competitive, because that's really what pulled me out of it.
So like a Fallout 4 type thing.
Yeah, exactly. Something more of the story-oriented kind of adventure where you can play it like that, but you still need to do all the boring stuff.
I mean, BioShock is like a Bethesda game, and Bethesda does like a lot of like single-player games.
Yeah.
I gotta disagree with you on the whole making it open world thing. Like,
Okay.
yeah, it's like semi-open world. I would say it's more guided than the previous BioShock like entries.
To be fair, I haven't played any other BioShocks. I just bought the entire collection, the remastered of everything, so
Play
I
the
can...
older two games. Play the older two games.
Okay.
You need to.
Gotcha.
You need to. Right after this, play the older
Start...
two games.
Okay, I will.
Like, you
boy.
played. I don't know where it falls in chronologically, because like the time, like the chronology of like the BioShock series is so like it's out there. It's very out there because it's like the infinite realities and stuff like that. Spoiler alert.
Yeah. Yeah, I
But
already
like
beat it.
with that in mind, it's so weird to think of like where the game is actually placed.
Okay.
Because in some respects, it's the end of the series, but like on the other, it's like the start
Okay.
because of how it ends.
Yeah.
Like that game in particular.
Okay.
But like they're all like wrapped up in each other.
I really need to just play the rest of them and kind of figure out
Oh yeah.
what's going
Ball
on.
up, bro.
Yeah.
Ball up.
But
So-
I feel like it's more geared towards being semi-open.
Okay.
Like there is some like leeway in where you can and can't
There
go.
definitely is. There's like, if you take your time, which I'm doing, I'm technically playing through it now. I don't think I've touched it in like 3 months, but
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
if you take your time and listen to every recording and go to all the little rooms, there's a lot of awesome stuff. You
Easily
can
over 30 to 40 hours of gameplay.
Oh, easily. Yeah, there's a ton there. Like, you can basically get as much as you want out of it.
Well,
It's awesome.
not gameplay so much as like experience.
Yeah, kind of messing around and finding all the little stuff. So speaking of infinite worlds that aren't really explained and are interesting,
And
the dark
possibly
web,
dangerous.
and very dangerous. The dark
That
web.
transition.
Yes. Oh yeah, that segues.
We work hard
Professional.
here at LRR Podcast,
Yes,
sir.
we do. We put at least 20 minutes of thought into this.
Maybe 10 if we're lucky.
So, Sub, I heard you had a thought or two about the dark web, or had a friend who allegedly heard something about it.
Yeah, the dark web. I've seen the dark web
Okay.
My friend was on the Silk Road before it was taken down,
Really? Okay.
like one of the multiple times.
Okay.
Now, for those of you who do not know what the Silk Road was, the Silk Road was the website on the dark web you could buy anything that was illegal.
Yeah. so
Made
real
by
bad
an Eagle
stuff.
Scout, mind you.
Really?
Oh my
Dugan, you're
god.
kind.
Way to go, BSA.
Producing the world's top encryption or
The best.
cryptographers.
I don't know what the fuck they're called.
I don't know what the word would be for it.
You can tell he took some media merit badges.
Yeah, dude. But yeah, so I was on it once. Well, I wasn't on it. My friend went on it, and it was so sketchy. He had to go through like 8 different websites. He had to use like several proxies.
How do you get on the dark web?
I
Like,
can't tell you. I
Okay.
don't know how. I don't
Okay,
remember.
I
So-
like I know
What-
it's bad and I know it's illegal and
You
and
need to
we're
run
not
your-
telling you to go on there. Like I don't like this,
Yeah,
but I've
I
just
would
always been
not
curious.
suggest
Like,
it.
how do you like? Is it a certain thing? Like, is it a internet thing?
Well,
yeah, you
the
know
way that-
computers. Do you know this
Bef-
or?
The way that-
Before...
oh, you want
Sorry. I just want to explain something first. Before we get into this, the deep web, the dark web, is broken up into 3 categories. It goes the deep web, the dark web, and then the Mariana web. As you can tell, it gets
Mariana.
worse and worse and worse as it goes. Mariana web, obviously named after Mariana's Trench,
There you
the
go.
deepest point on Earth as of now. Now,
until
to-
the drill
Until the bombs
find
drop.
more
Yeah.
now to access this, you need to download, I believe it's called Tor.
Okay.
Yeah, it gives you a tour.
Because you can't access these sites, thankfully,
Yeah.
with Google, Firefox, Internet Explorer, if you love to live a little bit.
So it's a web browser you have to download.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, and then after that, oh, are you done, Dugan?
Si, senor.
Okay, yeah, but after that, the person who initially like showed me the dark web, he went on like his Tor browser, and then he did something to his computer before he even like opened up the Tor browser,
Okay.
because he wants to make sure that like his IP is protected and that he's not gonna get like just obliterated by some random like kid on the internet from Korea.
Okay.
Doesn't want him to like do anything with his computer.
Mhm.
at
Damn
all.
it, Kim Jong-un.
Yeah, but he went to like what looked like a Wikipedia page, found like a specific link in there, and then clicked on that, and then it brought him to like this crazy like website, and it was like, oh, this is not what you think it is, blah 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 blah. Like, are you sure you want to do this? And,
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and they, like signed in, and
Okay.
God.
right underneath of an ad that someone was posting for selling just shrooms,
God.
right, and other like illicit drugs. There was an
The usual.
entire bank's like an entire bank database,
Oh my
And it had-
God.
well over 100,000 different bank accounts in it, and you could just have it.
That's
You could buy it
that's
for
terrible.
like less than like a couple $100.
You're
You could
kidding
just buy it,
me.
and you could own that bank, like that bank's information, and just like take
God.
whatever you wanted from those people.
That is
Social securities,
terrifying.
God.
addresses, like routing and checking numbers, like
Yeah. I
anything
think
you wanted.
one thing people need to realize: anything you do on the internet is not only tracked, but so easy to find just for anything. Yeah, it is.
You
Not
can hide a lot.
web.
You can hide a lot.
You can try to hide stuff, definitely to an extent, but like if there's someone like that, like on the dark web, they can find whatever the hell they want. If it's electronic, where currently
With enough work,
everything
they
in the world is electronic to an extent, people can find whatever you have information-wise. Yain, do you have any idea, because you're a computer guy, do you know how they do that, like hide that so well, or is it just...
Encryption and really
Okay.
just you can really do anything if you have the right things.
Okay, so it's the right
If you know the
software,
right people and
Yeah.
have the
If
right
you
kind
know
of
the
You got a
computer.
VPN. You get a VPN. They're gonna track you down, and they're gonna end up somewhere in like Vietnam.
Okay. Now, how do you like when
God.
you buy something? How do you actually like? Is it, I guess, Bitcoin or that kind of thing you're selling or you're using because it's non-traceable? Like, does it just get shipped to your house, or I guess it depends on what it is.
Well, I'm not so sure. I'll put in like a little thing real quick. I'm not too sure about like the whole purchasing aspect of it, but I know that I have a friend or an individual that I know.
Allegedly.
Yeah, allegedly,
Oh, boy.
gets items from the dark web.
Really? That's not good.
And he says that they just show up to his house.
Huh.
That is
Supposedly, they just show up to his house by USPS.
Okay, at least it's a mail. That's
that
dropping
is
it off.
kind of creepy.
That is
Just
pretty
dropped
bad,
off,
though.
just boop.
Yeah. That's,
He
So
also runs, when he goes on, he runs it through, I think he said 7 proxies and a VPN.
God.
So he is he's sending people all over the place. So if they want to find him, it's gonna take
Yeah.
quite some time.
That's terrifying, though.
Really
Just to
do
get
it.
into that type of thing. Like, if you, I don't want to say even if you cross someone, but like if someone just wanted to go after you, I feel like the level that they're at to be that like hidden and everything, even with all those VPNs and proxies, I don't know too much about them, but I know a decent amount. Like, I feel like they can still work around that and kind of
I
follow
mean-
the trail back.
Take time, but
Yeah,
if someone's determined enough, they could definitely do it.
yeah.
To what you said about if someone has a grudge against you, dude, on the deep web, there are hitman
Yeah.
websites.
Oh, it's everything. They've got literally everything.
This
there.
shit does happen, and it
Anything
is
you
a
want.
sad world, dude.
You can buy drugs, you can buy people.
Yeah, and that's the
Right.
crazy thing. Like, this is the
Bedrooms.
take all morals away. Just like people at their most, what's the word I'm looking for? Most, I don't want to say natural, but
Vulnerable.
that and most just, I guess human it would be formed with like no set of morals. It's just whatever you want to do. Oh, it's possible. Sure, there you go. Here it is.
Pure
How much
id.
money do you have?
Pure,
Well,
no semblance of like restraint.
No, yeah,
Sure,
it's
if
just
they,
okay.
they want it, they take it.
Exactly.
If I pay $200, I could watch some Vietnamese girl get her eyes scooped out with a spoon.
Yeah, it's just, and it's absolutely terrible.
That's a little
and
bland.
disgusting. The kind of stuff that can be on there.
Yeah,
That's
let me
fucked
add
up.
some salt on that.
God damn, that's not
Christ.
even okay. Yeah, there's just some terrible stuff out there. It's crazy, and I guess no one can really take it down because it's so well hidden.
I
So-
heard the FBI is slowly starting to like find these red rooms and taking them down.
Well, that's good. I mean, they got rid of the Silk Road, so they're definitely making progress.
But just because
They
they got
might
rid
be
of the
up right now.
Silk Road doesn't mean they got rid of other
Oh, yeah,
sites that
there's-
do the same.
Probably 500,000 that started the second that left.
It's
So-
like a disease, dude.
Absolutely, it's cancer. It goes through. So speaking of cancer, memes.
Oh my god. That
So
transition.
way.
It's true.
our resident
are-
meme expert, Mr. Yayan here. How about you go into the just memes for us? I'll let
Sure,
you
let's
take
do it,
this wherever
brother.
you want.
Shut the fuck up with
I
that.
know of a way.
Oh no,
Do you know the way?
God.
Oh my god.
So like,
So,
what? I guess what is the actual definition of a meme? Because I didn't realize this, that a meme is not just an internet term. This is a thing that existed forever, basically. Like the actual.
Isn't it like something that people pass around?
Hold on, let me.
Wait.
Yeah, it's actually explained out. Funny little fact. There's a character in Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance who goes over what a meme actually is. Let me see if I can get that quote.
Jesus Christ.
So,
well, to kill
Here's the
the
actual
time I
definition.
pulled up the oh, okay, beat me to it. Why don't you, Dan?
Okay, so a
Break your
meme
fucking
is an
legs.
idea, behavior, or style that spreads from person to person within a culture, often with the aim of conveying a particular phenomenon, theme, or meaning represented by the meme.
So syphilis could be a meme.
Allegedly, according to this, yes.
Pretty much.
Well, fuck. What a
have a
time
meme
to
then.
be alive.
So like, Jan, what's the point of memes? Why?
Why not?
Is it
That-
literally
I
that
don't know why
just
you're
because
asking
they can?
me.
I don't know. You're
That-
a meme guy.
You're a PhD in memology, bro.
Yeah. Last week we talked
Well,
about all those
knowledge would be
PhDs.
useful.
Now it's meme PhDs.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Like, I guess they were funny, and like the style of them too. Like 5-10 years ago, it was all like the kid
The
with the
rage
fist and
comics.
like the put $5 in pocket, pull out 10. That's it now. Like now, the jokes and memes are like some distorted image, just like with a image of like pasta and being like food,
Ooh,
something
touch-
like that.
yeah,
Just
my
nonsense.
spaghetti.
Spaghetti guy?
Exactly. Yeah, like spaghetti or some nonsense. Eating Tide Pods, like that's more than this. But I just I don't get it. It's a
speaking
weird
of
sense
that-
of humor. It's a non-humor.
Dan, speaking of that, somebody showed me a picture. Twix makes Twix
Yes,
Pod.
they
Tide
are,
Pod shaped candy.
and Snickers does
What?
too.
the
That's,
So-
I feel like that's not real.
no,
I saw
Steve,
pictures. It could be fake, but
I don't
if
know,
this
man.
is real, there's
I
one
saw
of
it
two
on the
things.
internet. It has to be real.
Either it's been in
You're right, though.
production and they started this whole Tide Pod thing to make money, or they have the quickest fucking marketing department in the world that could make
Oh,
a new
yeah.
product.
Shit,
Because that would be
Okay,
absolutely
so-
amazing.
some
I
Logan
don't know
Paul
if we're still
bullshit.
there, but I found the quote, and it's from Monsoon. All right, so the guy's in Metal Gear Rising, and like you're fighting him as Raiden. I don't know. Have any of you played Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance?
I haven't.
No.
No.
Okay, well, he's a pretty interesting fight. But anyway, his quote is as follows: "Free will is a myth. Religion is a joke. We are all pawns controlled by something greater. Memes, the DNA of the soul. They shape our will. They are the culture. They are everything we pass on." And that like, really is. I don't know,
Why
it's
is
like
that
a
not in the
summation of what
Bible?
was said.
Yeah, that does seem to sum it up pretty well. And I think people just use them like now. It's just jokes and to kind of get around.
They
I
are
don't
being
know.
passed on if they don't die too fast.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
true.
A meme usually lasts like a month, I've noticed.
Yeah, and there's
Yeah,
some
Yeah,
stuff.
but
I think Harambe was the longest living meme because he still lives on.
Exactly, he'll never die.
Still
Yes,
on,
that's
lives
Harambe.
on somewhere in Ohio. Dude.
Yep, he just lives.
Heroes
on.
get remembered, but legends never die.
God. So I think memes are just something that even if you try to talk about them, they just exist forever. So let's get back into the next thing here. We're talking about gaming. So consoles, PlayStation, Xbox, PC. Obviously, PC is better, but
Hell yeah.
where do you guys stand on this?
Objective.
Objection.
Let's go around the room.
You
Yan,
can't
what's
say
the
that they're
best?
not.
PC, Xbox, PlayStation. What's the best?
I prefer. I mean, it depends on the game, I guess, but PC.
PC. Sub.
PC.
Dugan.
I'm gonna say PC because I'll explain it in a bit. Dan, what's your reason?
Okay, I'm PC. I'm definitely. So you want me to go into the reasoning?
Yeah.
Okay, so
It also.
Go on.
I'm sorry to cut you off there,
You're
but
fine.
it also like depends on what like the setting is.
I agree.
Because if
Yeah.
it's like if it's mainly just you playing games or you have a lot of other friends with PCs, then yeah, PCs are better.
Yeah. So one big
If you're
thing
looking for something
is
for
like
parties,
having
console.
friends on that same platform, so you can play with them and kind of just having friends. Having friends on the
boy.
same platform, so
Wish
you
I
can
did.
play with everything. I definitely think PC's best. Hold on, I'm dying here.
Stop
I
doing
definitely.
that.
Okay, I
Oops.
definitely think PC is better. Objectively, it's more powerful. You can play anything. It's a little bit more finicky. You have to put more work into it to get stuff to go. It is more expensive normally, but the
Yep.
games are a lot cheaper, so eventually it could probably balance out. Another thing, it's a whole entertainment thing. You have the internet. You have like Word, school stuff you can do. It's a lot more universal. You can do a lot more kind of with a computer. Obviously, the consoles are doing more now too. What the consoles are great at is buying a box, plugging a box in, pushing a button, putting a disc in, or downloading something, and then you're
Oh,
done.
discs? I forgot they existed.
Yeah, now it's mostly downloads, but it's just you
Future.
just turn it on and everything's done. You don't have to worry about it. That's really nice because especially with PC, like there'll be times it takes hours to get a game to set up properly, and it's just
At Gmod.
Gmod's one of them. If you start modding like with I did with GTA 4 heavily, that could take like I probably had 20 hours of work just to mod the game how I wanted it. And that was just originally, and then I never really stopped with it. There's a lot of stuff you can do, and that's another thing with PC. You have all the modding capabilities and all the specifics with stuff, so that gets really fun. So what's your reason, Dugan?
Honestly, it's the same thing. Like, straight out the gate, I needed a new laptop to begin with, and everybody I knew was playing their online games. So I was like, oh, I need friends. I
Yeah.
want to join them. So I was looking online, found a website that I was actually recommended,
I buy power.
and I came across iBuyPower.com. I fucking love
Shout
it.
out,
Not a
sponsored
sponsor.
this week. No,
It's a joke.
Please sponsor
It's a
us.
yeah, please help.
Please.
Give us
So,
money.
so I bought an MSI laptop,
Great
16 gigs
choice.
of RAM, terabyte hard drive. I love the thing. I absolutely love this because I can use it for school when I figure out how to activate Windows. and, and like I said, I can also play games on it. I mean, I have a big trip coming up over spring break. It's about a 20-hour bus ride. So I'm going to hook up my hotspot on my phone, and I'm probably going to be playing World War II the whole time.
Yeah, it's
Maybe.
perfect for that.
Whereas, can you do that with a console?
Negative.
Unless you have like one of those
Well,
suitcases.
oh yeah, I was about to
If you
say
have
there's like the suitcase things you can plug it into.
Yeah, if you have
Yeah,
like the
but-
power and everything. Yeah, because
Pretty
I
dope,
also
though.
got last year I got an MSI laptop. It's a hell of a lot more powerful than my desktop is. My desktop was also built in 2014, so it's older. So I can really do whatever I want, and it's really portable too. So that's really nice for it. What about you, Kim? Why do you like the PC gaming?
Well, for the most part, I like the options that you have. I mean,
That's true.
You don't have to shell out and spend like 1,200 or 800, like even like 800 or like $1,000,
Yeah.
like get like a good gaming experience. Like all in all, my computer ended up costing me roughly around. Well, I mean, I got it for Christmas, but when I talked to my brother, it only ended up costing him to build it around like $400.
Oh, that's really good.
Damn.
And
So-
building a computer saves you probably
Yeah.
30-40% of cost, so that's great.
Oh yeah, and a lot of people will be like, oh, well, you gotta spend so much money to upkeep a PC. It's like not really.
No.
I mean, my brother had his PC. He got a hand-me-down from one of his coworkers, and it was running games just fine at 60, like average 60 frames per second, 1080p, whatever you wanted to run at, 1080, 1440, whatever.
Yeah.
For maybe 2 or 3 years.
Okay, nice.
Whereas like there's a new console every like 2 maybe.
Yeah,
You
I mean,
spend another
this-
$700.
yeah, like I said, with this computer, I bought it in 2014. I think I probably put about $600 to $700 into it, and
Yeah.
it will still run AAA games. Not at high settings, like a medium setting in the 40-ish frame range, so definitely playable. My laptop will do anything at 100 or 200. But I mean,
Yeah.
it's
And-
still good enough for it. So I mean, it works. It does what I need
Yeah,
it to
and
do.
mainly it's a labor of love if you do put anything into it.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, and it's
just
easy
like
because you can just
enjoy it, and it's not really that hard. Once you like
Yeah.
learn where everything goes for the most part. Like I put in my new I had to get a new motherboard because the old one was crapping out.
okay.
That was a hand-me-down.
Okay.
But I put in a new motherboard, and when I was putting it in, because I had set up the computer originally with my brother, it was like really easy to figure out where everything goes. So
Mhm.
like it's not that hard to get. Me
Yeah.
being a PC dummy at the time, like it's
No,
not that
it's
hard
not
to
hard
get
at all.
where everything goes and
Yeah.
what might be
Can I-
wrong.
The
Can I
difficult
say something
part.
really quick?
Yeah, go
Can I
ahead.
say something
I
really
heard
quick?
you laughing.
We are fucking nerds.
Why?
A little bit.
We are fucking
Oh,
nerds.
just in general? Oh, absolutely.
Like,
This is the gaming podcast. This is when it comes out, man. Come on.
We go from talking about fucking college life, and now we're talking about gaming.
There's a lot
What-
to talk about.
What
man.
else were you doing
Oh.
in college time? It's gaming. The hardest thing with building a PC is just figuring out what parts are compatible, but the actual like building of it's incredibly simple. So what about you, Jan? Because you seem to be on the fence a little bit with what you're
Well,
saying.
I was gonna think controller based, but like
Okay.
I would probably say PC most of the way. When I am home, I do use console. When I'm at my parents' home, I should probably say I do use console because then when I log my PC, and they have consoles there.
Okay, yeah.
But I mean, that's also good because then I can just play like sport games. Like that's
That's
yeah,
true.
that's everything. Else.
That's the only thing I don't like about PC, and I'm actually kind of pissed. The number one game I wish I could play is MLB The Show.
It's not
That's
Golf
only
with Friends?
PlayStation though.
Dude, no golf with friends. No.
Golf with Friends, the best game. All right, if you guys want to buy that game, all right, it's on Steam
Oh
right
my
now. Please go pick it up. It's
God,
great.
dude.
Golf
No.
with your friends.
No, it's not golf with friends. It's golf with people you'll hate in 20 minutes.
Yeah. Not even 20.
Fuck. Like, ask Cam. When I play video games, I rage. Like,
You get turned into the gatekeeper after enough time.
God.
Collision mode on, and whenever someone would try to make their final stroke into the
Oh
the
no.
just knock him out of the way.
I made somebody quit the game. I made one of my friends quit the game.
Yeah.
He was so pissed.
Oh my God.
Oh, good times, good
That's
times.
a mess.
But
Yeah.
yeah, like, I kind of wish video games weren't like, fuck, what was I? The like MLB The Show, Madden.
Yeah.
Like, I was told this. It's probably not true, but like these video games are solely sold for about maybe one console, particularly.
Absolutely.
Like it comes out first for say PlayStation
Yeah, there's
for
exclusives.
like
MLB The
months,
Show is a
and then it
PlayStation
gets
exclusive, or it was at the last time I knew of it. That's only
Yeah.
PlayStation.
I'm completely okay with 2K not having that big of a market.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're
I'm
definitely
okay with that.
specific.
Yeah.
One thing I've liked about PC gaming is PC allows those tiny games that are like really absurd to take off, and like they can be on Steam or wherever, where like to get a game developed for an Xbox, you need a company behind it. It basically has to be a AAA title. But for a PC game, it can be a guy with basic coding skills, and he can make whatever you want to do. And just that's what I really like about it, because you have so many more options for the kind of game
Indie
you want to
games
play.
are the
Yeah, you
future.
get so many bangers
Absolutely.
like Bastion. I think there's another one too. Transistor.
Slenderman.
Transistor's another one.
Slenderman, yeah,
Hyperlight
that's a big
Drifter.
one.
Dude, let's not forget about Super Mega Baseball.
Go
Or
on.
Sid Meier's Civ 5.
Yes, that's one. Yeah, like you can just get those games that like really aren't much of a game, but you can
Or
just
VR
kinda
chat.
have fun with it. Yeah. So speaking of college activities and being the best of society, two of the people in this audience vape, as the kids call it.
Yeah, I am pretty cool.
guys, let's point them out. Let's point them out.
Yeah, I wonder what audio I'm hearing right now. So,
mean,
I've been
I have a
muting myself for most of the times I've been hitting my vape.
okay.
I do the same too. Here's the
Also,
thing.
we never covered loot boxes.
We did!
Yeah, we did. You sob.
Well, more towards like the start though.
So, yeah, that's when we covered them.
Oh,
Boy,
okay. I forgot we got. All right, fine.
whose man is this?
God damn it.
So,
Man,
I have a solid reason as to why I do it, and Cam knows because he's seen me do it before. Because again, I play college baseball, and the number one thing we do is chewing tobacco.
Uh-huh.
And Cam knows over
disgusting.
exactly. I would do it over the summer
So
because
gross.
I got an addiction. We'd be sitting in our smoking area at camp, and I'm getting the stink eye from everybody. So I'm like, okay, that's not happening. I didn't have a vape. They all did, and I wasn't making the most money at the time.
It wasn't peer pressure.
It
Sure.
was
No.
so at the time I started smoking cigarettes. Like to the point I remember somebody complained that I smelled like I smoked 10 packs a day when I was maybe smoking three cigarettes
Oh, wow.
a day.
I didn't realize you were up to 3
I
a
thought you
day.
meant 3
That's-
packs.
Oh,
Every time I
fuck
saw you,
no.
had a fresh pack. Dude.
Oh, 3 things a day.
Yeah, like 3 cigs a day.
Oh,
So,
okay. Thank God. Okay, I
And
was going
then-
to say.
Only
I
the few
realized-
times we got breaks.
Yeah, and then I realized like, hey, I'm playing sports in college. This is going to hurt me.
Yeah,
And
you're
that's
gonna
when
die.
these guys talked me into vaping, and honestly, I can honestly say I have not touched a cigarette in 4 or 5 months now.
Yeah, I
whenever
mean, that's
the summer
perfect.
was,
Yeah. I mean, that's great
and
for
I
that.
mean, I do a metric fuck ton of running, especially playing college ball, and honestly, I can say I'm not affected by this vape.
Okay, that's good.
Whereas it was smoking, dude. I felt like I was burning down my trachea.
Just trying to breathe, basically.
Yeah, so
Okay.
this has helped me, and
Yeah.
shit, I'm
It's
sticking
good
with
for
it.
that. Yeah, it kind of. I guess it's the much healthier alternative. I mean, it's not perfect, but it's definitely a hell of a lot better than smoking. So
A
Yeah,
lot less carcinogen.
a lot less. Yeah, many.
Yeah.
Cut
many
it down
less.
to like 1.
there's no rat poison.
I know a lot of people who started it because it like either looked cool or just like ironically, and
Oh,
then they
posers.
became and then like there's wait, I'm addicted to nicotine now, I can't stop. So
Now,
it's just
I can't say that I'm addicted to nicotine.
Mhm.
I mean, I've been vaping off and on for maybe like 2 or 3 years. I'm sorry. Is there anything else you wanted to?
no, yeah, you
Nope,
can go.
sir.
Okay, so I mean, I used to be at an 18 for Nick,
Oof.
which is a lot considering most people hit 3s. Those were some
Milligrams.
dark times. But I cut down from an 18 down to 12s, and now I'm just at 6s. But there are a lot of times where I didn't have the money to afford like juice or anything, and I would just quit vaping cold turkey.
Okay.
And I wouldn't have any cravings, and there
Okay.
would be like no side effects. So a lot of people are, oh, nicotine's so addictive. It's like I don't know. I think it depends more on the person than the
I
company.
think, I mean, yes, nicotine is addicting, but what I think makes it more addicting is the extra shit that they throw in with cigarettes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that doesn't help, and that's the part that's really cancer causing. It's not the nicotine itself that causes it; it's the tar and those 243 other chemicals that are in
I
cigarettes.
thought it was like 400.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, there's a ton of shit. Straight out, you're an idiot if you're still smoking cigarettes in this day and age, and you think it's okay. It's just you're an idiot.
Yeah.
That's just how it
I
is.
mean,
The
I'm honestly
Oh.
proud to say because of apes, I got my mom one for Christmas, and
Okay.
she has quit smoking because of
Perfect.
it.
Yeah, and that's what they're great for. I mean, they're of course now like the joke, like with the fidget spinners and all, like the teenagers doing it as idiots. But they do have a purpose, and that's what they were originally intended for. So
Yeah,
that's
they were
definitely
initially like the station tools.
yeah, definitely
And
great. For
and one of the things about nicotine, I can't like cite anything off the top of my head, but I did look into it. And most of the studies on nicotine as a carcinogen have shown that it doesn't cause cancer, but it agitates it.
Okay,
That makes sense.
so it kind of doesn't help. Yeah, I mean that's
So it doesn't help, but
Yeah.
I mean it doesn't really
it's better
cause.
than yeah, it's better than full blown smoking with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
definitely at least it could be worse. Absolutely. So on that note, I think we're gonna wrap things up here, as it could
Yeah,
be
hey,
worse.
Cam, take us out. Take us out, son.
Yeah, take us out here. We'll let the guests
take us out of
away.
here.
In closing, all right, fuck EA. All right,
Yep,
loot boxes are the worst.
correct.
Gaming's gone a long way.
Yeah.
Battle Royale games are only gonna get bigger.
Uh
The dark web is a scary ass place. And vape on, my brothers.
huh. There we go.
Nice.
Thank you,
This has
everybody.
been I was
Yep.
gonna do the
Go ahead.
outro.
You finish it. I'm gonna shut up. You finish it.
Oh my.
I cut you
This
off.
has been the
Anyway,
Live, Regret,
so-
Repeat podcast starring a special guest of Sub. Everybody have a good day.
See you guys.
Deuces, homeboys and females.
Absolutely. Equal opportunity podcaster here.
Also, memes.
Also memes. See you guys.
Oh boy.